one. Pink is something else, I think. Alright, back again with the Scout. We just put electronic ignition in it. That is to say, we replaced the points and condenser with the Pertronix unit. Got it back together. We've got a new set of plug wires that are for the V8 version, and not the V8 Scout, but the 302, I guess. And they're a little odd. Got the old wires on it just to test them. Got new plugs in it, new NGKs, and it's having an odd issue. It starts right up, but pretty sure it should be doing what it's doing. Carburetor's way out of tune. Yeah. It made a lovely black soot mark on the floor. I moved it out here. I can make a lovely black soot mark on my Pathfinder. So she runs, and that's an improvement. Working good on this side. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Yeah. Not timed, nothing set, carb out of adjustment, made it. Yep, there we go. Well, another night with the Scout. My dad swapped a few bits in the carburetor today. Did a little research and it sounded like something called the equalizer was stuck. And it was, and he swapped in the one from the old carb, didn't see any other glaring problems. But then it started, it ran, it was, I guess, a little leaner. He said he also rejetted it. Drove it down the driveway and back, and then it refused to start again. And he couldn't figure out why. It had plenty of spark. I've had a look at the plugs. They were pretty carboned up. Well, the Scout's been in the shop for so long, the shop's starting to grow up around it. And another thing's starting to grow up around it. Yeah. Good news is, Dad got it running, finally. Took the replacement carb off. The first carb we had leaked externally uncontrollably. This one leaked internally uncontrollably to the point where it fouled the brand new spark plugs. So, new set of spark plugs, new rotor because we hadn't changed that yet, and apparently she starts right up. But at this point, we've tried for so long to get her to start when she won't. She's still dumping fuel down the intake, that enough gasoline has gotten past the rings that the crankcase is kind of not full of oil anymore. It's closer to lawnmower gas. So, or not lawnmower, chainsaw gas. So, I'm going to do an oil change on this old pig. Yeah, the viscosity is really just like water. This is an old canister style filter. I haven't actually done one of these before, so I'm not quite sure what to expect. We did find a filter for it easily enough. It's actually in stock. There we go. Okay, there we go. I guess it would have been better to warm her up before dumping the oil out, but having seen this oil, I don't think that would have been good for the motor. Now this would be a hard bolt to find a replacement for. Okay. I'm not sure if it screws off or just pops off. I'm guessing it just sort of pops off. Well, that's got her. Good thing I drained it first. Okay. Same height. Navigold 1156. Navigold 1156. Alright, I got the old seal out. It's got kind of a contour on the side, it's been cut into, but the back's flat. And looks like that one to me. Alright, so that little ring just slipped right into its groove. No force of any kind needed, really. It's just barely tight enough to stay in there of its own accord. That. The bit on the bolt where it gets slightly bigger actually engages the seal on this thing here. Excellent. Well, getting a handle on why we don't use canister filters in cars anymore. Because this has to go on at an angle. That doesn't stick out very far. That has to stick down for that to stick out, so you have to be pushing on it pretty hard. And this can flop all over the inside of the thing here. It doesn't really care. And there isn't really much on that flange there to guide it towards the threads. So, yeah. Near as I can tell, the trick to put it on is to squat underneath the car and call it various crude things until it goes on. Well, crawling underneath and swearing did the trick. One thing to note about putting one of these back on that I found, when you're tightening it, if it tightens up suddenly, that means it's not, the casing isn't seated on the rubber ring quite right, and you just got to move it around. It should slowly get tight. Alright, so I had a quick look at the drain plug before I go to put it back in. I noticed it's got a copper crush washer on it, crush gasket. I don't have a new one of them, so hopefully it's good enough. You can see other people have had trouble with it, and somebody went so far as to use the vice grips. So, yeah, clearly I'm not the first monkey into this thing. There we go. Slightly past the full mark, but as many places this thing leaks in. Pump the gas. They are.